All right, let's start by cutting through a little bit of the jargon. Green and black refer to the two colors in our deck, most obviously. And then Stompy is an older Magic term that specifically refers to playing creatures that have generally more power than they do mana cost. So like Rotting Regisaur is a great example of what I would call a Stompy creature. It's a card that has 7 power compared to its 3 mana cost. Obviously this has a downside to it, making you discard a card, but it stomps people out very quickly. Things like Growth Chamber Guardian, they scale up pretty quickly. Pelt Collector scales up. Harpooner has more power than its casting cost. Glowspore, etc. One of the things I'm slightly worried about in this deck is Spawn of Mayhem hitting double black for that consistently. We have 15 black, and usually to hit black by 3 or 4, you want 17 to 18, so we're a little bit light in that aspect. The second is that I'm going to be interested to see if this Charnel Troll here has enough food in our graveyard to consistently keep it fed. We have these Glowspore Shamans to flip extra cards into our bin to curve like Shaman into Troll, because this thing does get pretty big pretty quick, but I am concerned that there's going to be enough board states that get gummed up where this card's not going to really get to shine. It's just going to cost us resources. I think that Mobilized Districts would be playable in Just Sky Friends. Yeah, if you cut spells for them. So you can't cut colored lands in your 3-color deck to play utility lands like that. But if you wanted to cut spells and just have a higher land count, I think that would be reasonable. What are my thoughts on that inclusion? I think Electrostatic Field is bad in Naya Feather because the deck does not have an appropriately critical mass of instants and sorceries. I think it's a card that makes your wrong half problems so much worse than they otherwise would be. Sand needs a 3rd land, but it's pretty reasonable otherwise, especially on the play. Cousin Vin, thank you for the 21 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Happy Friday. Hope you're having a good start to your weekend. 2-drop into land would be ideal here. Not a 2-drop, but we'll have a land to guarantee our 3s, so that's nice. I think I just play Rotting Regisaur here. This means I have to discard a card every turn. Let's make sure my auto stack triggers is off, so my Regisaur and my Troll stack the way I want them to. I think I'm just going to go ahead and ditch Vivien here. Actually, maybe I'm just supposed to ditch the Troll there. Yeah, I feel like there's a good chance I'm supposed to ditch the Troll there. Because I'm not going to have enough creatures to feed both these Trolls. We have to exile a creature from our graveyard every turn or this goes away. Alright, so I think I'm just going to play another one of these out since they took such a big hit. These will both get bigger now. This is whenever a creature or planeswalker they control dies, we lose 1, they gain 1, and this gets bigger when they gain life. Probably going to disfigure this to kill it at the end of their turn. We'll see what else they play out, though. This is an instant, so we can kind of hang on to it for a little bit and make a decision after we gain a little bit more information here. Okay, and now this also gets bigger when they gain life, so I'm going to go ahead and disfigure this in response, because this is going to gain them life when it dies, so I'd rather they gain the life before this other thing comes into play. Finally able to catch you on Twitch. Can I put a tier 1 sub to something, or can you put this towards Just Kai repeat? As a heads up, TBS Coke, there isn't a added bonus. They're just dead on board, right? They block 1. I guess they can chump block here. Okay, so chump blocking means they're not dead. But this has them under the abyss, and we're adding a lot of other creatures in play. Tier 1 subs, and Prime subs don't get to bump anything every month, but they do get to add decks for that lower price. As always, full details on how my deck queue works can be found here on my website. This thing's got trample, which is kind of nice. Yep, the old give it lifelink and then done on the backswing still. So opponent's playing a small aggro deck. Disfigure seems potentially okay. Trophy seems fine. Noxious Grasp. This is probably worse than Legion's End, honestly. Maybe they have some white planeswalkers that I could potentially be killing. I feel like because my opponent's deck has a slightly aggressive slant to it, I might have a hard time protecting my Vivien here, so that might be a reason to trim this. Having 10 removal spells here might be a little bit much. I do want to have like a critical mass of like ways to actually pressure them out of the game still. Thorn Lieutenant, a lot of their creatures seemed like they get big rather quickly. So Thorn Lieutenant probably has diminishing returns because it can't block profitably a lot of the time. So, this hand's got a good mix of stuff, but the fact that this land comes into play tapped so we can't use it the first turn makes it a little bit awkward, because I can't go 1-drop, 2-drop guaranteed. Bag holding is like kinda cute, but if you really think about it, it's actually not that good with the troll, right? Because the troll needs things in the bin. I'll just play this on one. Go 2-3 here ideally. There's a deck in the queue that I'm excited to play coming up. The Yarok Field deck. That's the one I've been adding the Yarok Field deck back in every day, so we can practice it for the tournament that's coming up tomorrow. You've been enjoying that one, and that's part of the reason why I'm playing it in the tournament, is because I enjoy it. Magic's got an incredible amount of variance in it, so if you don't really like the deck you're playing, you should probably pick something else or do something else. Wonder if we'll see him pump the Knight and smack us for 4 here and make it bigger. They could also have a removal spell to kill my Glowspore. Yeah, I'll be streaming on a 10-minute delay tomorrow, Boneless. I feel like it's important that I stream the tournament on a delay for integrity purposes. I wouldn't want to have anyone accuse me of having an unfair advantage from Twitch chat if I stream without a delay and Twitch chat gives me advice. Everybody is aware that Twitch chat is excellent at Magic the Gathering. Am I worried about the mirror? I don't know. Here's a good pro tip for Magic and life in general. Don't spend energy worrying about things you can't control. Alright, so now I have to ask myself the question, what do I want to play this turn? I can go Knight plus Guardian, Knight plus Trophy, or play this out as a 4/4. So next turn, if they power this up to 5 and smack me, I'd go to 7, and this would put me to 6 because it deals damage to both of us at the start of the turn. And then if I kill this with Trophy next turn, I'd be going to 5, and I might have a hard time racing from there. I think I'm supposed to just play play Knight and then trophy their Knight before it gets bigger again. Gosh, I forgot to update my card frame again. What a tilt. That's a vampire too. Okay, interesting. Get rid of this one. They get a land. I lose 1 from the Celebrant trigger. I lose 2 from the Celebrant. I think I send this here and send this at them. And then I deploy Spawn of Mayhem this turn. So spawns a 4/4 flying trample, and every turn it deals 1 damage to both players. And if after it deals damage we're at 10 or less, it gets bigger. That being said, if they don't kill our spawn and they plus Sorin and attack, I think I'm just going to trade spawn for this Cruel Celebrant, because my life total is getting a little bit low, and I have a second spawn in my hand, and having 2 spawns out while my life is low is not ideal. So they're going to run me into the ground pretty quickly, especially if I, like, take another hit here. My opponent has, like, a Mortify or a Cast Down. I'm probably going to be in a lot of trouble. Around 8 a.m. As always, even when there's special events going on, you can always find my schedule on my website. Click live stream schedule. Always try to stay organized around here. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be the game. Yeah. I guess I can send this here, and they have to either lose Sorin or lose Pridemate. Yeah, I had tweeted my schedule, and then I had some things come up that caused me to have to change it. So I ended up taking the tweet down. Yeah, we're dead. We're dead no matter how we slice it. I think I'm happy with how I sideboarded. Let's run it back. So we've played green-black decks close to this in the past. The start of the season, we had played one that was pretty close to this, actually. But this deck is trying to leverage the Troll, whereas the other build that we had played was more focused on being green-based, and it was playing Steel Leaf Champion as a 3-drop. So this deck's a little bit different in that respect. Okay, I'm bottoming this. Go Knight into Collector. In general, Stitcher Supplier has never been a card that I've been happy to play in Standard. It's a card that it is a 1/1 for 1 so much of the time. Hey, what's going on, Reaper? Congrats on the new job. Yeah, I think even in Reanimator decks, the Reanimator decks in general aren't very powerful in Standard. They struggle to be relevant in a format where Teferi is bouncing things. And, like, even here's a great example of the Troll, right? Like, if I draw a land next turn and cast this Troll, it's literally just gonna die the following turn. I guess that makes my Pelt Collectors bigger, so maybe that's good enough, but it doesn't feel like it. I guess now the first one will trigger these twice. The second one will eat off of this and trigger these twice. So maybe that's okay. Yup. One of the changes I made to this configuration too is the original submission only had 20 lands in it. I ended up going up to 22, which I think was pretty important. So I assume, oh really? Huh. I would have expected them to get their Pride Mate back and attack. I guess I can put a stop on my upkeep to discard a card to this, but I kind of don't really want to, right? I think I want to just let it die and grow the Pelt Collectors. And, like, play the other troll and attack with these as 4/4s. Should have attacked first with Knight. Yes, I missed a point of damage. You're right. But, like, again, just, like, think about if these trolls were just, like, Steel Leaf champions. How better off would our be? That being said, next turn, this is going to turn into a 5/5 by exiling this, and then, like, I'm attacking for 8, 13, 18, which is a pretty big swing. He says as his opponent plays a card that gives all of his creatures lifelink. So they can attack for 7 more, which puts them to 15. So they're still almost dead. Yeah, they're dead. No, they're not dead to the Disfigure because they gain 1 from the Kraul Celebrant. Yep. Yeah, toasted. You have 4, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Just not good enough. Yeah, 4 mana Sorin is super good. Grinds a little bit of value and other things like that. How we doing, folks? Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good night to everybody, wherever you're at in the world. Thanks for dropping in here today. If you're a new viewer, welcome. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I'm a full-time streamer and content producer here on Twitch. I'm here playing Magic 30, 40, sometimes even 50 hours a week. If you're someone who enjoys constructed Magic, this is definitely the channel for you. We play a lot of different decks here, and we change decks every 60 minutes to 2 hours, so you get a lot of variety in every stream each day. As always, love to give a shout out to my wonderful subs. I wouldn't be here day and out without their support, so thanks to all of them for keeping me employed. I also like to plug a couple of my wonderful sponsors here really quick. The Vitamin String Quartet creates unique instrumental string arrangements, everything from Zelda to Zeppelin, and they would love to underscore your next gaming session. You can find them streaming now on services such as Spotify and Apple Music. InkedGaming.com will love to help you customize your gaming experience using code Jeff12. You can save 12% on custom playmats, mousepads, binders, and bags with them. You can upload your own custom artwork or choose from the wide range of artwork they already have on their website. And of course, Whoa Duels is a peer-to-peer wagering network where you can challenge other players on Arena for money. You get some of their coins just for signing up, but they also do free-to-enter daily tournaments as well as giveaways every single month. Let's head back on into the next one. What happened to Underlord's gameplay? The Underlord's gameplay just became stale for me really quickly. Not even really quickly. After a few weeks, as I played the game some more, it became readily apparent that being good at the game being really good at the game was going to require me to memorize lots of spreadsheets of data, and I just wasn't really interested in doing that. And playing a game in a way without putting the effort in just didn't feel worth it. So I feel like I gave it a fair shake, and I played a couple of games off stream after every patch, and just like, this latest patch seems fine. Like, removing global items was good, but just like, it's like doing a bunch of memorization to play something that's supposed to be a game I'm doing for fun seemed less than ideal. Yeah, that seems pretty good. Glowspore Shaman, less good against basic mountains and Goblin Chain Whirlers. I don't think that's strictly true, Reaper. I feel like Magic functions in a little bit different way for the most part. Like, while you gain advantages in Magic from having more information and being familiar with what other people are doing, Magic has enough inherent variance in it that I feel like I can enjoy games and formats where I'm not, like, completely invested in them. Or, like, I can know... A good example, I think, is I can know the ins and outs of just my deck in Magic and not have to know every deck. Whereas, like, to play Underlords well, I need to know everything because I'm not going to be able to do the same thing every game because it just doesn't work out that way, right? The way the units line up that are appearing. So I can't just be familiar with one strategy. I have to be intimately familiar with all of them in order to be successful competitively. I think I'm just gonna do this first. And this Chandra deals damage to us whenever she loses loyalty, so we're probably just gonna try and ignore her.
Oh, it's you burning.
Yeah, Underlords is essentially a draft simulator. Yeah, and definitely, and like we talk about things, I'm sure there's plenty of people that really enjoy the gameplay I just described, and like, don't let my dislike for something harsh your like of it, right? I'm sure there are a number of people who the reasons I just described as being negatives for me are positives for them. They're the reasons they really enjoy the game. A lot of creatures in my bin. I'm gonna attack Chandra here. They let her die, I go to 10. Watch it burn. Burn, baby, burn. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Beep, do, 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 do. Maybe I'm supposed to pay 2 and discard this, but then I can't cast a 3-drop if I draw it. That could go either way. Alright, so we're going to 6 here. So if this deals 3 and the top of their deck deals 3, we are dead. That's a pretty good one. Could definitely die next turn. And by that I mean attack for lethal. Having a lot of big fatty booms tends to be good against mono red. I think I cut these Glowspores just because they die to their Chain Whirlers and Firebrands. Some number of Legion's Ends are probably okay here. Probably don't want quite this much top end. Let's give this a try. Yeah, I think some number of Spawn versus mono red is fine. We probably never want to draw 2 of them, so boarding down to just 2 is okay, but like, it's a 4/4 that kills very quickly in the air. Hey, Turtle MTG, thank you for the brand new tier 1 sub. Hope your Friday is kicking off a great start to your weekend. Thanks for keeping me employed here this month. Welcome to Hoaglandia. Yeah, X4s in general, especially cheaper ones, tend to be good against Super Nintendo Chalmers. I appreciate your username, opponent. I just noticed that. Yeah. That's a good one. Tis in fact a quality meme. Yeah, this is fine. No 1-drop, but guaranteed gets to go 2/3. Any land lets us go. Lets us play a 4. There's a good chance that they kill my Growth Chamber Guardian on 2, which lets my Troll survive on 3, which is nice. Thanks, Turtle. Good luck to you as well. Just as like a good general note / reminder to everybody that's playing tomorrow, just remember that Magic has an incredible amount of variance, and that most of us who play in the event tomorrow are going to lose and not finish 10-1. Having to go 10-1 is an absurd record. The cut for tomorrow to day 2 is the harshest cut of any Magic tournament I have ever heard of or played in. I'm excited to see them breaking them up into more tournaments. Yeah, you have to go 10-1 to guarantee your cut to day 2. And that just gives you the cut to day 2. You have to then 5-1 to get prizes. So to win anything meaningful tomorrow over the weekend, you have to have a record of 15-2. To give context to some people out there who haven't played Magic before and aren't familiar with how things usually line up, going 13-2 at a Magic Grand Prix gives you a qualification to the Pro Tour usually. And going 13-2 at a Grand Prix usually involves players having somewhere between 1 and 3 buys. So they're generally not going 13-2. They're going like 11-2. I'm gonna drop Rotting Regisaur here and just start smashing him. Maybe I should have shocked this and played that. Nah, let's just beat him down. Yeah, that's just the day one cut, Mega. Yeah, so the normal cut to day 2 is effectively what you need to get on the Pro Tour, historically speaking. Yeah, 7-6 is good against the red deck. It's not bad.jpg. Nah, I wanted to leave back the extra thing. And just like, to give credit where credit is due, I think the people at Wizards realize that their cut for this weekend is absurd, and the structure moving forward looks like it's going to be less months in between, I hope. So, I'd be surprised if we see another one of these weekends that requires a 10-1 cut into day 2. Okay, Sultai. I would expect this deck to have a hard Sultai matchup. Just because a lot of these decks are likely going to go way over the top of what we are. They said... Or are they playing Flash? They might be playing the deck that we're going to be playing next. They said in the other live stream they'll be doing this every other month. Another thing to be aware of for folks is that just because the cut is a what's it called? A 10-1 cut. Some people at 9-2 and probably 8-2 will make the cut to day 2 this weekend. And part of the reason for that is because this qualifying weekend had 3 months to qualify for it, there's theoretically 6,000 people qualified for the event this weekend. So they have to trim 6,000 entrants to 128 between day 1 and day 2. That being said, there's going to be a lot less than 6,000 people playing in the tournament. Feels pretty dead, man. It might have been right to activate my Growth Chamber Guardian last turn. Or just like pass, not using my mana. This trade's like not getting better. I should have attacked first there, huh? I should have attacked and then cast my spell. As then their Lookout's Dispersal would have cost more mana. I don't think it really matters. They just probably wouldn't have blocked if I sequenced that way. Yeah, I could have held on to the activation for their turn, though, Wee McGee, and then their mana would have been used, and I would have gotten to resolve some more spells. So the way in which I sequenced allowed my opponent to maximize the amount of mana they were able to have access to, and I could have minimized that with better play. This is a card, much like Stitcher Supplier, where every time I play it, it just feels really lackluster. Like, a 3-1 for 2 in Standard is just not a good rate. Like, it flipping some random cards into our bin and occasionally helping us not stumble on lands is just not a particularly powerful effect in comparison to the other 2 drops we can play in Standard. Do you know where the last 3+ years went? I seem to have misplaced them. Thanks for the 37 months, Rogue. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Think I'm just trophying this. I'm doing it on their turn, so if they have a counter spell, it doesn't get bigger. Do 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 do. Be do do do. Be do 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 do. Shifting Ceratops, get in my deck. Pretty good against the counterspell deck. Can't be countered. Still dies to removal spells, but reasonable otherwise. Noxious Grasp is good. Kills their wolf. The stat line on Thorn Lieutenant is probably not that good a lot of the time. Spawn of Mayhem is probably a little bit hard to push through. My bigger creatures are also this dodges Tyrant Scorn, which is nice. Even though you can spectacle it for 3, its converted mana cost is 4, so it doesn't die to Scorn. That seems relevant a lot of the time. Maybe I trim Troll just because I'm trimming on creatures. I still sell 32 creatures. Why is Harpooner worse than Thorn Lieutenant? Can you explain? I like Harpooner having more power for Pelt Collector. Just trim around the edges here. Yeah, I'm pretty unlikely to activate Thorn Lieutenant though. So I think I'd rather just have a 3-2 in my Pelt Collector deck than a 2-3, if that makes sense. Grand Pie, Grand Chesser, thank you for the brand new Prime Support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Hope you're having a good one. The triggered ability on Thorn Lieutenant isn't nothing, though, either. Like, the fact that it leaves something behind. Again, Glowspore, just like being a 3-1 for 2. Don't need to put more lands on top of my deck. It's also just like gets eaten by all of their stuff, which sucks. Like, if they trade here, just like... My hand's not going to be capable of generating a double spell turn anytime soon, so I think I'm supposed to just jam Spawn here. While it feels bad to get counterspelled, every card they draw gives them a better chance to have a counterspell. So making them have it early seems ideal. You know, I should probably play the land and play around Spell Pierce here. How likely are they to have a basic forest? Low. I think the only basics in my configuration that we're gonna play, and the configuration we're gonna play next is our islands. Well, wow, they only have one basic island. I don't know. I feel like I need to kill their threats there. Feels kind of dead, man. They hit their second green and shocked it in. So I assume that they're gonna play a Night Pack here, or they have a Frilled Mystic. Either of those are bad for us. Where's my Field of the Dead? Make my lands do stuff. Play the land to play around Lookout's Dispersal. Get Frilled Mystic. Can still rip a Ceratops and be in the game potentially, so we'll hang out for a minute. We're still only going to 17 on this attack. This is part of the problem with playing decks like this, is you just don't have a catch-up mechanic. Just like, one of the... So, let's pull this deck up and talk about why I feel like it struggled a little bit. Marginally better than the red-white Chandra deck to set a low bar. I feel like a big part of this problem with this deck is that even when you are playing all the best cards these colors can have, your individual power level of your deck is still kind of low. So to take a second and compare this list to this, the deck that's on my website, Green Black Stompy from my website. So like the list on my website, for instance here, let's just put it in Arena so we can look at it in the same way. So to compare that one to this one, you'll notice we're not playing cards like Pelt Collector and Troll, which are cards that are like, God, it's so ugly without the borders. We're not playing cards like those that are kind of individually weak, so that the average card quality in this deck is a little bit better. This deck is also leveraging the power of Land War Elves to accelerate out its bigger plays a little bit quicker. And then we use the extra mana that this deck has to pump into Knight and pump into Growth Chamber and pump into Thorn Lieutenant and play some bigger Planeswalkers here at the top end too when we're a little bit more. So I think this configuration that's on my website is a little bit more trim, in large part due to the fact that just the average card quality of what it's playing tends to be higher. And I think this being a fringe archetype already, you can't really afford to get too cute with it and play synergistic things that when your synergies don't come together, your cards are just individually very, very embarrassing.